Hi, and welcome to day 5 of the Burned Out to Bliss challenge. How has your week been? I really hope that it has improved with those quick tips and hacks that I've been teaching you. I know that over the years, learning these simple steps, these simple systems, has made a huge impact on my life and made our homeschool so much easier to manage and more enjoyable to be in. The last tip that I'm going to share with you today is one that is a little bit easier said than done, but is so important. And it's vital to the success of your homeschool and keeping yourself thriving within it. I can remember back when I was an early homeschooler and I didn't really know a whole lot of families that homeschooled. We always did a co-op, so there were friends at co-op, but we lived all over the place because, as you probably know, homeschoolers will travel since you need to find other families, and sometimes they're not right in your community. In my area itself, I didn't know anyone, so other than that day at co-op that we went to, it was a very lonely place to be. And when I was at co-op, I was busy helping out and taking care of kids and running them around. And homeschooling became very isolating, which I never thought would bother me. I'm very much an introvert, and I thought that I'd be happy not having a lot of people. But I started to realize that my friends who didn't homeschool, especially as our children started to get to school age and their kids were busy in public school, I very quickly lost ties with them. And that was a hard thing to accept because I really enjoyed being with these women. I thought our children would grow up together, but their schedules are just so different than mine, and life was so busy that we just didn't have the same chance to connect. And so over the years, I really tried to find a way to find other people that I could be with. And that was kind of a sticking point for me. Through a lot of searching and hoping and praying, I finally found a homeschool group that was what I had been looking for. And it validated in those times that I thought maybe it's just me. That really that was what I needed. I needed that connection. I needed people who understood, who I was connected to on a personal level, not just that we happened to be at the same co-op every week. Because even though I had friends at the co-op, they weren't people that I kept in touch with for the most part the rest of the week. And we definitely didn't see each other on breaks or anything. So when co-op wasn't in session, it wasn't really an ongoing friendship. They were more acquaintances, I realized, than friends. Once we found our homeschool group, which I am eternally and immensely thankful for, it made such a difference. And I've noticed over the past few years that on Facebook, there's these communities building for different points of interest, for different common interests and common areas that people need to work on. And I think it's an amazing thing. Now, what Facebook will become or how long it'll last, nobody really knows. But I think that we've found a way to use the technology to build what we're missing in our outside society. I wrote a post recently about it takes a village to raise a mom. And I firmly believe that to be true. If you look back in other generations, there was a community supporting every mom, every family. You weren't just an island onto yourself. And that is even more the case in the case of a homeschool family, because generally the moms either don't work or work from home. Their children stay at home. You may have activities, but they're here and there, and it's not something that you're building that continual relationship with people. So you are losing not only the sense of community of your neighbors, but you're losing the community that many people have either in the workplace or through their schools. So it's been a mission of mine to try to conquer that, because I realize how crippling it can be. It wasn't even so much that our curriculum wasn't working or the house wasn't clean enough or meal planning was too difficult or any of those other things. Even once I took care of all those, I was still very much struggling. And like I said, the biggest and most important ingredient in your homeschool is you. So when mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So that is a huge challenge, I realize, and it's not a quick fix. It's not an easy hack, but I really encourage you in some way to find someone either online or in your community. And I guarantee that there are many more people in your community homeschooling than you even realize. I always thought that I was the only one in my town. And then I found out that just on our little lake, there were 4 families. 4 families. Years went by, and I thought I was the only one for miles. And here there were 4 families within a mile and a half of my house. Um, so if you have a local homeschool group that you can get to be a part of and find people that are in your area, or if you even have a group through church, or if there's a private school that hosts homeschoolers, any way that you can connect with people that are in your general area and make a true connection with at least one person. I know that from our homeschool group, I've gained many friends, but my one friend, Lauren, we check in with each other fairly regularly. Right now, life is kind of busy for both of us, and it isn't every day. But during the winter, when life is difficult, we check in every night on Messenger. And sometimes it's only for 2 minutes, like, how are you? Hey, I still survived. And sometimes it's longer. Sometimes it's that I don't know what I'm doing with math. Can you help me work through this? Sometimes it is, we had a really great day and I just have to tell you about it. Or we need a new history book. What are you using right now? The questions are irrelevant, really. It's the fact that I know that at the end of the day, there's someone else who understands. I can sit and talk to my husband, who does help with our homeschool sometimes, but he has a job that takes him outside of the house pretty often. So he can't completely relate to what I am dealing with. So finding another mom who is raising their children and homeschooling and keeping up with the laundry and the dishes and the floors and the meals and everything else can be life changing. If you can't find that person in your local community, I do really recommend that you get connected online. And this is the reason that I launched the Homeschool Mom to Mom support and chat group, because it is a group that is aimed at any kind of homeschooler who really just wants to connect with their mom, ask questions, get support, and make friends. There's many groups out there connected to different curriculums or different styles of homeschooling, and that is fabulous, and I encourage you to get involved with them. But this group is just open to any homeschool mom who just needs support, and it really is meant to be a tribe. Now, I never liked that term, the tribe, but I'm embracing it more because you really do need a tribe. You need a group of people who understand you, who have resources. The person that's ahead of you who can answer questions, the person that's a little bit behind you, maybe needs your help, the person who's right smack in the middle where you are and can understand where you are and where you need to get to and how hard it is to get there. Um, so, like I said, I don't have a great hack for today, other than I can tell you that even the most introverted homeschool mom needs support. They need other people to chat with, they need other people to interact with, they need to be able to ask questions. And so my challenge to you today is to find a way to find those people. It may take just finding one person, and it may grow from there. It may take finding a group that you feel really comfortable in and try different groups. Get into them, see how it works. There are many groups out there, but some of them you're just not going to click with, and that's fine. They'll click for other people. Don't feel badly about leaving it. Don't feel like you have to be in 17 different groups. You can pick one that really, really works for you. But definitely make sure it is a place where you can ask questions and get answers. That's the first thing, because we need answers. There are lots of questions, there are lots of decisions in homeschooling, and you are just one person. And even the most organized and driven person that makes decisions easily is going to come up against a wall sometimes. And you don't have anybody else to ask. You don't have that partner in crime, that co-teacher, that principal, that supervisor. It's you. So you need to be able to ask questions, especially if you don't know homeschoolers are further on the journey than you. and get answers. And some groups allow you to do this and some groups don't. So that's why I just make sure that you can ask whatever questions you have and that people will respond to your questions and give you support and give you answers. The second thing you need is accountability, because it is very easy when you are home with a bunch of kids and the dishes are piling up and you've been up all night with the toddler and you're exhausted to just say, we're not doing it today. And the problem is that not doing it today becomes not doing it today, not doing it tomorrow, not doing it next week. We'll learn history next year. We'll do science when they're older. And it's very easy to push it off. And I'm not saying that you can't just take a day off, because that is the beauty of homeschooling, and you are running your homeschool. So if you need a day off, definitely take a day off. But accountability keeps you on track, especially in states where you're not required to submit long reports. The long reports aren't what's building the education. However, they do create some sense of accountability. And when you're left to your own devices, it's easy to not live up to your own expectations. And then it's easier to get frustrated with yourself. And you go down that rabbit hole of not feeling adequate and not knowing what to do. So a group that provides accountability, asks you what your plans are, follows up with you for what your plans are, celebrates when they work well, helps you work through when they don't work well. And that's the last thing that I would say, is one that you can talk about things that aren't necessarily just curriculum driven, because we do have a lot of curriculum decisions to make, and our life does revolve around the education of our children, because it is a lifestyle. It's not a 9 to 3 thing. It's not a check off the box and move on. You are living your homeschool. So you need to be able to connect with these women on a personal level that isn't just what book do you need or how do I do this in math. That is important. You need that too. But you also need the other side of it. You need the camaraderie. You need the friendship. You need the understanding, hey, we're all moms in this together. So let's work together. And that is what I would encourage you to do. So if you have any questions, if you want suggestions of groups, if you would love to join my group, I'm going to put the link in the email. And I really would love to see you there, because that is what I'm trying to do, is connect moms to other moms so that they can have the support and chat whenever they need to. I hope you've had a fabulous week and that you have a wonderful weekend. And anytime, just email me. I would love to answer your questions. Take care, and thanks for sticking with me. Bye.